What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Peter E, and we're back with another YouTube video. Apologies for the absence. Life has been really coming through, but I'm definitely planning on becoming more consistent, uploading more. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. But today we got a banger. We're gonna be talking about how to become a social media manager in 2026. All right, if you're watching this video and it's 2025, 2026 is around the corner, you probably just got laid off, looking for a new side gig, looking for a role where you can contribute your creativity and have a good balance of flexibility, travel the world, try new things in life, and not just be tied down to the rat race that corporate America typically holds people in. So if that sounds like you and the reason you're watching this video, you're in for a ton of game. Again, make sure you like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it. So first question, what is a social media manager? A social media manager is one who literally manages social media. That includes TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, etc. All of those social media platforms. What a social media manager does is manage it on behalf of an individual or a brand. And in most cases, business owners are too busy to manage their social media on their own. So they contract individuals like yourself and me to manage their social media on their behalf. If you go to Google for a definition, social media is a professional responsible for a brand or person's online presence through various social media platforms by creating content, executing marketing campaigns, engaging with their audience, analyzing performing data to enhance brand awareness and visibility. So again, essentially what it sounds like, managing social media to build awareness, drive sales or potential leads for a business, a creator, etc. So hopefully that makes sense. Before we move further in this video, I think it's appropriate for me to provide some context on myself, background, to help you feel confident on the person that's speaking on the subject matter and to help you understand why I'm making this video. So for those who don't already know, my name is Peter. I am 24 years old. I've been in a marketing space for about 6 to 7 years. I went to school at Morgan State University for strategic communication. Now, when I was at school, we had 4 main disciplinaries. That was advertising, that was marketing, that was public relations, and journalism. All of those 4 things are things that I have various experience in. I have various experience in marketing, working with companies like the Walt Disney Company, Lionsgate, Meta, Sony, and I also worked at various advertising agencies that supported various brand clients like Sunoco gas station, Gohor like home appliance, anything you can think of, you name it. I've been fortunate enough to touch just about every aspect from paid ads, social media management, copywriting, email marketing, website development, you name it. The reason why I shared that is just for you to feel a little bit more confident in the person that you're listening to now, and also for you to gain a little bit more confidence and know that you can do this as well. No matter your age, no matter your experience, you got this. So let's keep the video rolling. Now let's talk about some of the benefits of working in social media management. I think at the top of the list is a role that allows you to be creative. Everyone who is creative has amazing ideas. You look at social media posts and you're like, oh my gosh, I could have done that better. Or you seen an ad and was like, oh, this advertisement was whack. If this was my company, I would have done it like this. That's how you know that this is a role for you. For me, I knew this was for me because I would come across different advertisements and sponsor ads on my feed, and I would think, they should have called me to do this ad. Like, they should have called me to create this content because I have a better idea. I think that there was a better way to communicate to the target audience. And that's some of the signs for you to know that you're probably going to be really good at social media management. If your friends always come to you for social media ideas, if you create content now and the content does pretty well on social media, these are all signs that you're good for social media. And again, the benefit is the creativity. Nobody's giving you a limit on what you can and can't do. Obviously, a lot of clients have guidelines, but a lot of the creative aspect is on you, and that's something that I think is a key benefit. I think the second thing is its flexibility. When you're a social media manager, you have the flexibility to travel the world, work from anywhere because you are managing social media. So you're not required to be in office. You might have a content shoot where you might spend a day shooting content with clients, but outside of those days that, at least for myself, take place once to twice in a month, you are able to work from just about anywhere. So if you're one who likes to travel and make money without being confined to a specific location or office, social media management provides the flexibility to do so. For me, I'm originally from Hyattsville, Maryland. I currently live in Los Angeles. I think the last benefit of social media management is that it's very, very lucrative. You might have heard, might play a role while you're watching this video. You can make a lot of money, anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 a month. I know people who was even making more than that doing social media management. And you can determine your pricing, set up different packages to set whatever goal you want to make from an income perspective. I think social media management is definitely a role to really put you in position to set financial goals, set packages to attain those goals, and really have a profitable online business that again gives you the opportunity to be creative, the flexibility, and the opportunity to be profitable. So I think those three things are just some key benefits of social media management. If any of those things cater to you, you're watching the right video. Another frequently asked question I get is who can do social media? Anyone who has creativity, you're familiar with the social media platforms like Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok, etc. And you have a go-getter and entrepreneurial spirit where you can set deadlines and make sure you stick to them. You can see trends, see a piece of content and get inspiration for your clients, creative, and then also have a little bit of assertiveness, because you might be in a position where you might have to tell your client that a certain idea isn't going to work. A certain post is not going to be beneficial towards their overall goal because you are the social media expert. So sometimes you might have some pushback or you might have some suggestions that you have to stay firm and assertive on. Those are some of the few things that I think is necessary to get into social media management. You do not need to have a degree. We're going to talk about some workarounds in a second. You do not need to have 5 years of marketing experience. You do not need to be the best video editor. Again, we're going to talk about some ways to outsource this, something that a lot of people don't do. But if you're creative, you can think of ways to use social media to help businesses or creators grow. You can stick to deadlines, remain assertive, and handle business professionally as it relates to your clients, etc. You're good to go. We've talked about what is social media management, who can do it, some of the benefits, a little bit of my backstory. Let's talk about how you can start this today. Now, the first thing you might be thinking is, I don't have experience. I don't have credibility. I'm not going to college and did not go to college for strategic communication like you did, Peter. What do I do? Reality is you don't need to go to college for marketing, social media management, paid ads, or any of those things. What I would recommend doing is going to HubSpot.com and maybe acquiring anywhere between 3 to 4 marketing certifications. There's a digital marketing certification. There's a content marketing certification. There's a social media marketing certification. And again, email marketing and much more. I would brush up on these, acquire a few, so when you speak to clients, even if you don't have a degree, you have documentation and paperwork to kind of speak to you being an expert in this field. Because sometimes when you're going after clients, especially when you're talking to older people who are still old school and most times have the money to spend still, they just want to see some sort of paperwork that, all right, the difference between me and you is that you're certified in this and I'm not, and that can take anywhere between 2 hours, because these certifications are pretty quick, they're free, they do not cost anything. So that's what I would do if you don't have a degree, don't plan on going to school for marketing, and just want to have some sort of credibility aspect to your social media management business. Now, the next thing is starting to build your portfolio. Now, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you what my portfolio looks like, but essentially a portfolio is just a summary, a PDF, a presentation of all the work you've done. So when you're pitching to a potential client, they can visualize what results can look like for them, your quality of work, and what you're capable of providing them. Now, the first thing you're going to do if you have 0 clients is, as you've heard on various other YouTube videos, is find someone in your network. You can utilize your family, your aunt, your cousin, anyone who has a business, and offer free social media management just for a testimonial or to add to your portfolio, just so when you speak to potential brands, they can see that they're not the first person that you're doing this with and you've done this before. Now, one thing to take note of while you're providing this free service to whoever it is that you're providing it to, you want to make sure that you're note taking what you're good at, what you're not good at, and what service you need to focus on. A lot of people get into social media management and try and offer so many different things without just focusing on one said thing. And we're going to talk about what those options are as well. But start to take note. All right, I'm good at creating content. I'm good at writing captions. I'm good at just scheduling the content. I'm good at communicating with the followers in the comments and the DMs. So really fine tune what you're good at, so when you do really start charging people, like, you know what your strong suits are and some areas of improvement. Truthfully, I'm one who's not the biggest advocate and fan of doing free work. What I would personally recommend is doing the service for a discounted rate. So I would say something like, hey, my name is Peter. I would love to do this social media package for you. We are currently offering beta services at a discounted rate for individuals like yourself who are using to just build and refine our portfolio. So you'll get a 75% discount, at least something to cover the gas, something to, you know what I'm saying, buy some clothes or something like that. I wouldn't just go out your way to like create content or do something like that for free, because in most cases it could cost you. Now, if you do not mind and you're just uncertain about your quality of work or your level of expertise, then go for free by all means, right? But if you're a little bit confident, or you've done this before but you just haven't put it together in a portfolio, you went to school for this and you just need a platform, and you literally just need an account to like practices on, charge a discounted rate. That's Peter's advice. All right. So another way that you can find opportunities to build your portfolios by going to a website called volunteersmatch.org or idealist.org/volunteersmatch. Actually, what it does is matchmake companies who are looking for services with individuals like yourself who are looking for volunteer hours, pro bono experience, etc. And you're able to work with them for free. Make sure you get that testimonial and incorporate them into your portfolio. So now that you have your portfolio, the next step is identifying exactly what services you want to offer. Now let's talk about, when it comes to social media management, the different things that you can offer. Number one is content creation. This is where you're responsible for creating graphics, stills, carousel, or utilizing a camera or updated iPhone to create video. That's service A. One thing to understand about content creation is that you might run into different scenarios where A, a client already creates the content and just needs somebody to schedule it out, or B, they do not create content and they need somebody to create it and schedule it out. So when you come across potential clients, make sure you confirm, hey, are you looking for someone to create the content for you and manage your social media, or you already have the content but you just don't have the time to just do some last minute edits and put it out? Very, very, very important. The second thing is scheduling out the content. Very self-explanatory. A lot of people just have the content, have loads and loads of videos and photos, and just need help scheduling it out. You can identify if there's need for that is by saying, hey, do you have a lot of past photos and videos that you haven't shared that you think your social media audience would love? And they're like, yeah, I got tons of videos. So it sounds like you need someone to support with a lot of the content you have in the vault and schedule it out and manage your social media. That's where you're primarily looking to offer the scheduling. The third thing is captioning and copywriting. If you hear copywriting, it's the same thing. That is essentially coming up with the captions for the post. So a lot of times people struggle with creating effective captions for people to engage on a social media post or convert into leads. I have a skill set where you're able to take the right caption and turn it into a post that converts to leads or sales for your client. Service number 4 is community management. This is simply where you're responsible for responding to comments, managing DMs, making sure that there's no missed opportunities in the DMs, on the tables, in the comments. So making sure that you're responding with a specific tone that client might provide you, or DMing people to their calendar, or sending them links to their websites, or just responding casually to have some sort of organic engagement is where community management does. Now, the best case scenario is that you're offering packages that have all of these things combined. So you should be able to create content, schedule the content out, manage their comments and DMs, typically something that's very easy to do. Now, the reason why I broke it down like that is because there are also some firms who focus on just one of all of those things. There are agencies who just focus on creating content. I have clients who literally just contract me to create the content and they post it themselves, or they have somebody else post it. I also have clients that just have me take content they already have and post it online. So again, some people focus on specific things. You can be clear to your client that like, hey, we can offer either one aspect of this experience or the full experience. So just make sure that you're mindful of what your actual skill set is based off of your free client, to really specify what you want to hone in on, if you want to just focus on one thing or combine everything. Before we keep on going, if this is informative, like, subscribe, and comment the most insightful aspect of this thus far. We still have a lot more to go, and I'm still going to show you what my portfolio looks like so you can visualize what yours can look like once you have one, and we could also talk about how you can get started today. So if you're watching this video and you're thinking to yourself like, man, I need to start learning how to create content, and I need to learn how to schedule on social media and do all these things I've never done before, is okay. Where there is a way, there is a way. You get me? Now, if you don't have experience doing these things, the option B here is to delegate and outsource. Okay, I'm gonna say this again: delegate and outsource the task. Now, what this is going to look like is you're going to come on Upwork, you're going to come on LinkedIn, and you're going to make a posting saying, hey, I'm looking for someone who's experienced in social media management or content creation or copywriting. You might just need the aspect that you're not good at. Again, so when you have that free client, you want to look at, okay, I'm good at creating content, but I am terrible with creating captions. Now, truthfully, that's where ChatGPT comes in. You should be able to just take the photo, the video, give it some context, and have you you, have it create a caption for you. But if you want to onboard someone specifically just for that, Upwork.com, LinkedIn, I have videos on my page about how to use Upwork if you're not familiar, but it's a platform where you can just post a job and have people from overseas who charge anywhere between $2 to $5 an hour apply to the role and support whatever task you have them do. Half of my team is overseas and they came from Upwork. So I would definitely recommend, like I said, I have videos on my page talking about Upwork, and if you don't see any, let me know in the comments and I'll make a bit more of an updated one. The first things first is you want to come in and make a job posting. Very easy, where it says hire talent. You can come in and post a job. It'll bring you to a screen that looks like this, and then you can press post a new job. For this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of my favorite postings just so you can see what they look like. I have appointment setters. I have real video editors that I've been posting about. So let's go ahead and just look at my job posting so you can see some of the things that I included in here to really attract the right people, okay? So the first thing is just a brief paragraph on what you're looking for. So in this case, I was looking for an appointment setter, and I highlighted that this is a remote position, and I highlighted the time frame that I want them to work, which is 9 to 5 EST. So immediately into the posting, I am setting expectations on the time and what I'm looking for. But what you're gonna do is, again, make a post on Upwork, Indeed, LinkedIn, 3 platforms minimum. Hey, we're looking for a social media manager, a graphic designer, whatever the case may be. You're going to host a group interview, or you can do interviews one-on-one. Again, I have videos on how to onboard virtual assistants. And then what you're going to do is delegate the tasks that you're not good at. So again, even though you are not the best at it, you can still onboard somebody who is. So when you speak to clients, you can still speak confidently on being able to get the service done, because if you can't do it, you have somebody on your team who can. This is game that a lot of YouTubers are not talking about. So make sure that you are really taking note on this and watching some of my other videos to get familiar with Upwork, how to make the postings, do the interviews, and all of that stuff is on the page. Now, if you do this yourself, what you're gonna need is obviously creativity skills. You're gonna need an iPhone that has great quality. You're gonna need a camera. If not, I use the DJI Pocket Osmo 3. That's what I'm using to record this video and just about all the videos on my YouTube. So if you wanna check the quality there. But then outside of all of this, Canva is my best friend. This is what I use to create graphics. A lot of my clients were not just doing videos, but we're also balancing it out with stills and swipe for more style of content. So that's where Canva comes in, and you can go in there and create all sorts of stuff, get to know me more. Do quote posts, you can do meet the team posts, you can do announcements, discounts, etc. So many amazing things that you can do on Canva. They have a free academy where you can go and learn about how to use the platform. They have a lot of templates that can give inspiration on content you can create, and you're good to go. A lot of people don't emphasize that just about every social media platform has a free scheduling aspect. Instagram, YouTube, and just about every other one. I think TikTok, you can do it on your computer, but you can literally get all of this content in a week. What I would recommend is what I like to call bulk content creation. So have a conversation with your client, understand the content they want for the month, and create as much as you can at one time. Take 1 to 2, 3 days and create all of the content, whether that's video, whether that's graphic, and just schedule it all out. So that way you don't have to So that way you're not on a hamster run every week trying to create content for your client. Man, I don't know if I'm giving too much game, YouTube. Like, I don't even know if anybody is watching, but like, if this is game that y'all messing with, let me know in the comments, because I think I'm spilling right now, like for real, all right? Like, bulk creation is the play. Now, I have a YouTube video where I talk about how to make 10K in a month. On that video, I talk about how to bulk create content, how to schedule out content. So you want to go and watch that YouTube video as well to brush up on what you missed, because it's a lot of sauce on this platform that I think a lot of people are not taking advantage of. But if you're watching this video, kudos to you. Now, along with Canva, the other thing is CapCut. CapCut is what we use to edit videos. If you're not using CapCut, get familiar now. This is what you're going to use to edit videos for clients. If you're doing video content, which I suggest, video content is killing the algorithm right now in a positive way. So you want to make sure that you know how to edit videos that you shoot, because there's no way in 2025 or 6 that you're going to be offering content creation services or marketing services with no video content. I would just be surprised if the client signed on for that. All right, let's talk about getting clients. But before we talk about getting clients, there's a huge mistake that a lot of people must avoid, and I talked about a lot on YouTube, so I just wanted to start with this. Before you go and look for clients, please have your operations down packed. Okay, you can watch this video, watch a few other videos, and have a good understanding of what you need to do to move forward. But now when you get your client, you're looking unorganized, you're not punctual, you don't have a system of onboarding, and this can really affect your bag, because if they was gonna refer you to the next person, they're not referring you no more. Or if you had them on a trial and they were supposed to subscribe the next month, you lost that subscription. So what you want to do is make sure you have all your SOPs in order. SOP stands for standard operating procedures. Just to kind of give you some initial ideas on what you need to have is your onboarding process. When your client onboards, what do they need to do? Are you giving them a contract? Are you sending them an email? Are you asking for their passwords? What platform are you using to do this? I would recommend Honeybook or Go High Level. These are platforms where if someone fills the agreement, it would automatically follow up and send them the next email. Once they do what's in that email, it will send them the next thing. Typically, what I would recommend is obviously making sure you have some sort of contractual agreement to make sure that they are going to pay and you are going to render these services. You also want to have an onboarding form. This onboarding form is going to help you understand their goals, their competitors, what type of content they have, what type of content they want to create, your point of contacts. This is also where you communicate your available times. It's so much more goes into the onboarding call. Let me know if I should make another YouTube video about that. Then you also want to have a plan for client visibility as it relates to their progress in the campaign. So you want to have something like ClickUps or Asana where they can log in and see the content that's coming up, what you're planning, etc. So when you do get the client, which I'm confident with the information you've learned thus far, you should be able to do so. You have a system for when they onboard that is smooth, seamless, and is going to make them retain the business and continue paying you. Again, this is something that a lot of YouTubers are not talking about. All right, so now that we got that out the way, let's talk about how you are going to get clients, okay? A few different ways. First things first, I know I'm probably preaching to the choir or you've heard this before, but you need to post on social media. You need to post on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and make sure that people know that you are the person for this service. Now, there's two ways as it relates to social media. My way, I create content around myself, around my daily life, and that's going to attract potential clients because people are going to be like, who's doing your content? I need that guy, and it's me. Or you create content like this where you're informing people about what they need to do to grow on social media so people can identify you as a subject matter expert and consult you and eventually contract you to manage their social media. Now, the next thing is Upwork. Upwork is a platform where you can list your services as a professional, similar to Indeed or LinkedIn, but essentially different business owners come on there and post jobs that they're looking for, just how you would post that you are looking for a graphic designer or someone to look on your team or someone to join your team. That's how you would create your own profile on Upwork for people to find you, and you can apply to various opportunities that pay pretty well. This is where you email as many potential clients as possible. I would recommend a platform like Mixmax or Instantly to do mass outreach where you can send hundreds of emails just at one click. You can use an AI tool like Apollo to scrape leads online. So let's say you want to do marketing for all the lawyers in your local area. You can use a platform like Apollo to search up all the local law firms around me and then show you their contact information. You can take their contact information, put it in an automation tool like Mixmax or Instantly and automate the emails. You could also use Go High Level to automate voicemail drops. So this is where you record an audio like, hey, this is Peter. I just wanted to call because I saw your social media and I had some amazing ideas for you to grow and convert your followers into dollars. If you're open, would love to help on a Zoom to talk about this further. And what Go High Level will do is take that audio, it'll sync into the system, you put the phone number, it'll call, hang up, leave the missed call notification, and then it will leave that audio as a voicemail. So they will see your missed call and listen to the voicemail and potentially convert. All right, so it's a lot of tools out here, and I have videos on a lot of these things. Everything I just said, there are YouTube videos on it. So if you don't see it again, let me know in the comments and I'll make sure to resurface it or reply to you with a YouTube link. And I have an AI mastery where I walk through all AI tools that I feel like everyone who's trying to run an online business needs. These tools help me make 10 to 15K a month, something that I would recommend anyone who is working remote, trying to work remote, living a digital nomad lifestyle to get familiar with. And I also have my mentorship. You can work with me one-on-one and we'll work together for the next 3 months to talk about how we can take you from 0 to 100 as it relates to your online business, or if you already have a business and want to scale it with automation and AI. Another thing that a lot of people don't talk about as it relates to getting clients is going to conferences. Something that is very, very slept on, something that I've made a lot of money from doing myself. Think about your target audiences. Let's say you want to work with gym owners. Ask ChatGPT or Perplexity AI to give you the next 15 to 20 conferences in this niche in your local area. Find the ones that are free or very little to no cost, and attend to these with your pitch ready, with your portfolio ready, and be ready to close some business. Now, speaking of portfolio and business, I have mine pulled up. I'm going to switch over to my laptop just so you can see exactly what a portfolio looks like, essentially help you visualize what you need to start working towards. One is my agency name and picture. This is me and some of my team members. You have it. Of course, you want to have an About Us slide. That's just a quick description on your agency, what you all provide, and a short summary. And then a quick snapshot of the team. If your team has worked at notable companies, you want to make sure you add past experiences. So your clients are confident and aware that the people that servicing them are very experienced in this expertise of marketing and social media management. Then you want to have a why us slide. So for us, typically when I'm talking through this, I kind of just speak to our creativity when it comes to our strategy that we provide, our quality of content, our growth is what we like to aim for when we create content, and manage social media, growth in revenue, growth in engagement, growth in followers. Obviously, we have the experience, we're innovative, and we're client oriented. We do everything to keep a smile on the client's face. So that's just something we have there. We have our core capabilities. So this is kind of what I was talking about earlier when I was saying what we're really good at. So we're really, really good at campaign strategy. And I actually forgot to mention this earlier in the video. And campaign strategy is simply coming up with ideas, strategizing, thinking about what content that this person can create, putting it in a PDF, a document, and then presenting it. And that is a service in itself, something that we're really, really good at. Branding consultation, so helping brands understand what colors they should be using, what fonts they should be using, what tone do they want their social media to be associated with, and then obviously social media management. Now, we do have secondary capabilities, and we consider these as add-ons. So that is paid advertising, influencer marketing, so working with brands to find influencers to promote their product or service, public relations. This is essentially where we pitch them to news outlets and editorial placements, like Forbes and Yahoo News and all of that type of good stuff. Content production, which is honestly becoming one of our new core capabilities, something that we're doing a lot now, creating content for business owners and creators. And website development. When on board, they typically don't have a website or have a website that could be updated, and we take on that service. And that's another thing about having secondary services. These are things that you can use to upsell to clients once you get them in the door. So once you are on that first call, I would primarily focus on the core capabilities and just speaking around that and how that can help. And then if they speak on the need for a secondary capability, or you see a need for a secondary capability, then that's when that conversation comes up. And then you have past partners and clients to kind of just showcase your diversity of clients, or if you're specific to a specific niche, you would put logos of all of those companies. And then we just give to examples, but just kind of speak on this one. Here we did marketing consultation, which is where we consulted and just brainstormed with them on different ideas. We planned a content shoot, so we had a shot list, we had concepts that we're going to shoot this day for this client, and then we did social media promotion. So we came up with different graphics to amplify the work that was done and amplify a lot of work that the client was doing, and that was a service. We might have another one where we come in and we do visual creative direction, social media auditing, where we actually scan their social media and essentially say, take this off, replace this, do this better. Revamping the page, graphic designing, website development, so we built the website, and then manage their account. So this is just a prime example of what a portfolio looks like. Again, something that you want to work towards. Mine is about 14 pages, 19 pages, and this is old from 2 years ago. So we have a whole new set of clients now, saying that to say that it's very possible, very doable. I was able to leave my Fortune 500 company job to do this full time. So I'm able to travel and hopefully can make a move to Thailand, and make sure that y'all following for that experience and journey as well, because I am planning on making that move. And this is actually the first time I'm like hinting at it publicly. So if you're watching towards the end, lucky you, because the boy is about to move to Thailand and to start a new life while doing this. All right, so hope this video was helpful. Make sure you check out the links in the description to figure out different ways that we can work together. There's a lot of free trainings. There's a lot of $27 products that you can get that you can really change your trajectory of income today. So I wouldn't hesitate. Think too hard. You've already got 30 plus minutes of free information. So really invest in yourself and really make that decision that can make a difference in your life. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peter Ewell. Peace.